There we go.
There we go.
Right. Now we've done the admin. Okay. Yeah, the sun's just moved now, so it's like so how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you and your parents?
Yeah, good. It's a little bit but parents both fine, uh, well, happy. Um, so it was just mum, dad, and Nicola in Australia today. But a lot like Nicola's kind of mother-in-law has just been given a diagnosis of between 1 and 12 months to live, and my mum's baby sister Susan, she just found out this week, has got cancer all over the place. Um, so like it be late stage, whatever it is, but it's kind of liver, kidney, esophagus, bones, everywhere. So yeah, like a bit of heavy family news and things. But everybody, we're all well and okay, like apart from that obvious um kind of things associated with that. But yeah, all good. Yeah.
Good.
How's Steve and Sue?
Steve's at work,
Yeah.
happy and as he is, and Sue is feeling much better because she's had 3 nights cover for her dad, which it's a new ongoing thing. So she gets 3 nights a week where she can actually go to bed and sleep, because before it was like 24/7. Even when she went out for an hour or two, it always included doing some shopping, and because she had people coming in during the day from the hospice and what have you. And I mean, he's actually looking a lot better because they put him on steroids and various. So they changed his medication, and he's put, I think it's 2 or 3 kilos on. And his appetite has returned, because getting anything down him was a chore, simply because he didn't want to eat anything, and because of his physical state, then he was having hallucinations and also dementia episodes, or Alzheimer's, whatever you want to call it. Again, it's very because the symptoms, it depends on which day as to what he's exhibiting, and whether it is any of those things, or whether it's a result of medication or inflammation, or also, it's very difficult to know what's going on a lot of the time in people's bodies, because we are such a complex being, and one thing affects another. I mean, you've only got to watch any woman that's ever had PMT go through a whole gamut of feelings and experiences just from hormonal shifts within a body. You know what I mean? So, like I say, suffice it to say, Dad is in a good physical state and in a good enough mental state to know who he is and where he is. And next weekend, all the brothers are coming up because it's Dad's birthday.
Yeah.
This month. I'm sure he's already had his birthday. Anyway, they're all coming up next weekend for the to be together to celebrate.
Yeah.
One of her brother's daughters just had a child, a daughter herself, and she's going to surprise him as well. And she's coming up with the new baby.
Yeah.
And I can remember when the dad was the one with the new baby, which was her name's Sydney, Sue's niece. And I can remember when we got to see Sydney for the first time. So it seems, how did that go by so fast? I mean, you must see it with is it Erin? You know, your nieces and nephews. You know, it's like all of a sudden they're not babies anymore; they're now adults, and you know, it's like it happens so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And because I mean, if you like just with adults, 20 years can go by and you don't notice much happening because it all happens so slowly. But you miss 3 or 4 years of a child, and it's like, when did they get shoulder high? And when, you know, that you can see the dramatic changes, can't you, in a youngster? Anyway, so it's looking, and so it's really the effects of being able to sleep a few nights, because I think she's got 2 nights on the trot, and then last night was her night for respite or whatever you want to call it. So she has 2 nights and then a couple of nights when she's on, so, and then another night. So she actually gets 2 nights on the trot where she can actually go to bed, and she can watch a film, or she can do what she's got her own time. And then if she goes, and now because she's getting to trust, his name's Samson, because she likes Samson and gets somewhere, and so does her dad, you know. Is a big, about 6 foot something, black chap, and because Sue said when they told her that he was going to have a male carer, Sue was you know, and I said, well, wait until you meet him, you know, and everything. And anyway, when she did meet him, she said, all right, it's all right. You know, she got it was straight away she knew it was okay. I mean, part of the worry was what her dad would say, you know, because of that generation. And
has Samson got long hair?
I don't think so. No, he hasn't. No. I think she sent me a photo. I'll send you a photo.
Yeah.
On WhatsApp, so you'll be able to see him yourself. Yeah, and but
yeah,
no, he hasn't.
That's so important for the for the person being cared for, but also for the family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been alone in a house with a man was because well, Sue's past has problems in that area, and so yeah, we won't go into that here. But yeah, so anyway, when she met him, and he was really good with her dad, which really helped, and her dad liked him, and most of the carers are female, and so I think it was nice for her dad to have another male
Yeah.
input,
Yeah.
And so it all works well,
Yeah.
So happy is Sue with that. And you can see it's kind of lifting
Yeah. Just
physically as well,
thing, and being able to, like, to trust somebody enough that you can just switch off for a bit and not on that on you, the person that you're caring for, and zone into a film or something.
Yeah.
Got the thing is yeah, bless her.
So yes, all quiet on the Western Front. Sal's just come back from the UK. She's been in the UK with her friends, and well, she went over because Michael's has a big expo in London in November. We used to go and meet up with them in London, and they book a suite in a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that, and we would go and stay with them in London, and spend a few days, and then they would, after being with us for a few days, when Mike's work had finished, because we got all day with Sal while Mike was working, and then after Mike had finished his work, then they would go up to Newcastle to be with Sal's, well, they're now Mike's friends, because it's like 20 odd years of if you see what I mean. But initially they were Sal's friends from Newcastle, obviously, because that's where Sal was. They've been up to she sent some stunning photos and stuff, and we had a lovely time. Yeah, she's now back in America. Of course, her future's all up in the air with her work, so it's new everywhere you look. It's like new beginnings, pub pages is closing down. This is you will no longer be able to edit. I mean, I wouldn't have gone into any of the poetry or anything like that unless we've been talking about, I've gone on to look for something. I don't think I've been back on that site for at least 10 years, I would think. Something like and I still can't work out why some because I only found out this morning because I was trying to clear some of my tabs down, so I hadn't got a lot of clutter when you sent the thing. I thought the one I sent you didn't have any comments on, and no access to comments, whereas two of them did. And so I was reading down, and I was thinking, and obviously one's been put in one thing and one, and I don't know why one still has all its comments, and why one doesn't, but yeah. But so I spent some time reading the comments like this, within 2 inches of the screen, squinting at it. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, it's like everything that has been normal is now changing. They're talking digital IDs, and you'll have nothing and be happy, and the rest of it. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever you want. But that's for me. But yeah, it's a time when you really need a connection with the Lord, Because there's so much. I think as well, the reality that God doesn't want any one of the people on the earth not to come. You know, I mean, obviously not all will come, but it's like that. I get the feeling that the time is getting short to his return, and you just want the harvest fields to be ripe and for the harvest to be gathered in, you know, as many as can possibly be gathered. And you know, when you look even close to home and you're thinking of, you know, and you have to keep saying, not my will but thine, you know, I know that I can't understand what's going on. I can't understand how things are going to go and all the rest of it. But I do know I serve a perfect God. I do know that his plans are so far above and beyond my imagining or understanding that there's nothing I can contribute to helping the outcomes I want. And the safest thing I can do is to be content with whatever it is he wants, even if I can't see why, and even if I can't see how a circumstance that's distressing or overwhelming or upsetting can possibly be to mine or anybody else's benefit. I just have to accept that it is, and that it'll play out, you know.
Why thing on the audio message that I left. I think I told you about the bank. Did I tell you briefly about the bank thing that happened? Oh, because I put it on the I discussed it in the YouTube thing. But the why?
Yeah.
And that's I've kind of caught that one because I do that a lot. Why? But why? Oh, I do that a lot. I've done that since I could speak.
Yeah.
Why though? Why?
Yeah.
Why? And yeah.
I mean, it's now been 2 or 3 weeks since I've been able to access my bank.
Yeah.
So I've got money in the bank, but now because they've changed my account because of the changing banking, whatever it is going on in the UK, to a different style of account. That means I can no longer have, I had a Flex Plus. So now I've just got a Flex Not Plus, I think. But that means my Flex Plus card is no longer valid.
Yeah.
The minute they say, no, you're not entitled to this now, because you can't have the travel insurance, and you can't have this, and you can't. Well, I've never thought about that anyway. You know what I mean? I've never relied on that or included that in any of my comprehension of what we've only had the Flex Plus one, because any transactions you make, you don't have to pay the what do we call it, fee. When you get 20, use your card and it's €20. Now it's like 69 centimos bank charge for the transaction charge, you know, because you've used foreign currency instead of pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I pay or did pay £18 or something to have a Flex Plus. And I mean, the number of times I actually use the card is there's only a few, I don't know, perhaps 8 times a month. Well, I don't know. But it'll take a while to spend €18 in bank charges, you know what I mean? So, or £18 in bank charges. Anyway, I don't, it's like, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Are you able to draw your money out now?
no, not yet. Because they said this, they've sent it to this new address, but
Yeah.
we've had no post at this new address yet. So anyway, Steve's
Right.
going to go down into the village on Tuesday when we can, and to see the postie
Yeah.
if he's there, and say, have you got any mail for this address that's not been off? Because I mean, up until we moved back in, the post box was that jam-packed full, and I mean jam-packed. You couldn't put another item in. They may have thought, oh, it's bloody number 5 again, number 5. Nobody has mail up there, you know. But anyway, Steve's been and done the post box, so it's now got a big fluorescent 5 on it and Partida del Olivar, you know, 5, so that if the postie comes up to post anything in everybody else's post box, they'll see ours, and now it's got this emblazoned on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, at some point, it's going to get sorted out.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you know, we're in the fortunate position we've got some cash in the house, you know, and Steve got his, you know, we're using his card a bit more for bits and pieces.
Yeah.
You need a card for. If not, we're using cash, you know. So
yeah,
it's not going anywhere. And I mean, next week they could say, right now, nobody that's living outside England can have a bank account, and we're having all your money. And so that, you know, it's that. Yeah, if your security's in anything other than God, then you're in a poor state. You know, like I said, I don't.
My thing, but kind of till not too long ago, was really resistant of everything. You know, like the digital ID and all that kind of thing. I refused to have. I wanted to keep everything as kind of paper and non-digital. The old thing here that it was before digital ID, but it was like you put your details in this. I can't remember what it's called, but I haven't got it. It's like called Connect Plus or something. You put info in it, and then you can use everything you need to access, because it's so bureaucratic. There's about 8 or 9 separate bureaucratic online thing, because it's all online now.
Yeah.
To access just for the, you know, there's something, the health thing is partitioned into things, and then there's the, you know, for that and for that. Well, you could register with this, whatever it is, France Connect or something, and then when you log in, you can. It's a pain in the ass to get anything set up, or to be able to just use an email address backed up by your phone number, or you can log in with France Connect, and I've been really resistive to that. And then now it's all going to the digital ID thing, and I'm like, no, I'll jump through as many hoops as I need to do. I want to keep things I'd rather have things in the post, you know, keep it like that. Now I'm just like, whatevs. Yeah, that's my new favourite phrase. Dan, Chimney Man, got it from his daughter, who's studying at Exeter University. Who's like she's 21 or something. Yeah, whatevs. You know, I'm not expending energy on that. Not listening to the news. I get, you know, if there's anything important going on, Dan tells me in the van. And only if it's really important, because he knows that I really don't want to hear all that stuff, and I haven't listened to the news for like years now. And I was avid news. I would definitely catch the news every single day. I need to know what's going on, and I'd probably spend a couple of hours delving behind some of the stories as well. And that kind of. Now it's all right, whatever. Because it's just distracting, and it's taking me away from where I need to be, which is with God. And my God time is 2 hours in the morning, and about half an hour in the evening, and as often through the day as I can. But dedicated time is 2 hours in the morning, and that's the important thing for me, and that's what I need to know. What's God telling me today? That's the imperative. I don't need to know, and I will do when I need to know it.
Yeah.
If I'm called to go and do something or to be involved in something, it will come to me. The thing will come to me. Somebody will tell me about it or whatever. I don't need to go out and seek the stuff, because I'm hearing, I get the drift of things that are going on. There's big changes in the States, in Europe. There is, the UK, everything. Well, that's as it needs to be then, and I don't particularly, this is like my personal thing, I don't need to have it's all right for me to look blankly at somebody when so it could be, because people want to know what my opinion on that is. Well, what do you think then about this latest thing? What else? So I will discuss sort of anything that's actually you talking to me, your heart talking to my heart. The other stuff is I've really got no interest in, and that stance is working for me at the moment. So I'm going to continue on that path.
Yeah, well, like you say, if God opens a door, no man can shut it, no demon can shut it, and it doesn't matter how much you want something, if it's not, all it's doing is, like you say, it's tapping your energy, and distracting you, and then again, look into the broader picture, you do that. He's factored it in into his plan,
The dogs. Say that bit again. Then again.
I said, then again, he already knew that from the beginning, that I'd be on a wild rabbit chase down this hole and that hole and the other. And you say, yeah, well, she'll be back at 1459, we'll wait till then, because it's not happening till 1500, and it should be in time, don't worry. So it's like he's Lord of the universe, he's Lord of everything, and nothing takes him by surprise. He already knows everything there is to know, and no matter what we're shuffling around and manipulating and everything else, it all belongs to him anyway. And so if it's him and his, and he gives it you, you've got it. Even if in like a digital timeliney thing, somebody comes and takes it off you, and you think, yeah, it's coming back. because it's not yours, it's his. And he said, it was mine, he gave me it, you know, and they can't take it off you, you know. Yes, they can, as I say, and I don't like to ponder, again, the scripture says, ponder on these things, and it's all the good stuff, not the bad stuff. But you know, it's like, even if he took your life, or he took your liberty, or he took your thing, it's like, well, so be it. But that doesn't mean I'm now out of God's plan and out of God's reach and out of God's use. You know, if I'm in prison, then praise God, prison is where I'm supposed to be at this very moment. You know, he's the God of now. He's never been the God of anything else. For him, every time, all time is now. And I'm the apple of his eye. He's got his eye on me. He knows which hair fell out this morning, or which is in the process of falling out now. You know, it's like nothing is hidden from him. So if I'm in the palm of his hand, I'll either be here and perhaps not be so aware of it in the physical realm, but or I shall be in heaven and I'll be engulfed in it. You know, but I'll still be in the same place, whether I can feel it or not, whether I can see it or not. Because he says, you know, those that the Father has given me, you know, nothing can snatch from my hand, you know. And God says, you know, he's got me written in the palm of his hand. You know, there's nothing about me that he doesn't know, you know, including all the stuff I wish he didn't. You know. But no, I don't really. I mean, he knows what I'm like, and he knows how feeble the feeble bits are, and still he's called me his own. Still, he's called me. I was listening to something this morning, and I can't remember them. They're called something lambs. Sometimes when a sheep gives birth to a lamb, apparently, the mother lamb rejects it for whatever reason, and there's no way you can give it back to her that she'll own this lamb.
Yeah.
And so the lamb doesn't die. The shepherd takes it and takes it back with him, you know, or her, it's a shepherdess, and he feeds it and he talks to it and everything else. And then when it's big and strong enough, it's then put back into the flock. And it's like whenever the shepherd goes out and goes sheep, 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 or whatever that person's went, sheep, 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 said the first ones that run to him are always the, call it with the bar lambs or something, you know, all the ones that were rejected, the weak and the feeble, or the, you know, for whatever reason, the real lambs didn't want real sheep didn't want anything to do with them. They're the ones that come running towards the shepherd because they know his voice. Yeah. You know, and I thought that's really a good allegory, because I'm one of them, you know, the rejected, the weak, the ones that nobody really wanted, and all the rest. And of course that instills in you a great sense of gratitude. Like it said, you know, this late last said, you know, every time he shouts, sheep, 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 all his broken ones go running. I'm here, I'm sorry. I was over there, I was doing my own thing, you know, but you know, I thought it was a very good analogy. I can't, as I say, apparently it's well known if you're in the shepherding world,
Yeah.
that they have a phrase or a name for these kind of sheep, and that's just what happens, you know.
Oh, lamb, rejected by mother, and then I'll just put shepherd. A bummer lamb.
A bummer, that's it. We're bums.
Oh,
I think it's a term of endearment. if 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 my shepherd calls me one of his bummers.
yeah. What are rejected lambs called? Bummer lambs. I wonder why they're called the bummer lambs then. Actually, stillbirth might have a. But the mother never changes her mind once she's rejected the lamb.
And so the shepherd has to take care of
So
that.
I've just got to find out why. This is going to bring up some interesting results, isn't it? Why bummer lamb? Why name? I've got why name bummer lamb. Yeah, we know what one is. Why? Etymology? Shall we put etymology? Etymology. Etymology.
Of the shepherding
Origin.
term.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why is it called a bummer lamb? It's not saying why, it's the name, but these lambs will hang their heads so low it looks like there's something wrong with its neck. Their spirit is broken.
I think that's an apt description of most of us bummers.
Bummer lamb name origin. Origin of the word. A bummer as in a lazy person. So look at this one.
Because it's a source of disappointment or a bummer to the shepherd and the ewe who would otherwise be expecting a successful birth. The term also reflects the lamb's own bummer state of being rejected and alone. That's what mine says.
Okay. So in that sense, the word is like drawing the short straw, not drawing the short straw, but like it's a disappointment for the shepherd because then
It also says, unless for the intervention of the shepherd,
yeah,
the lamb dies. Well, that's the same for everybody, isn't it? And unless except for the intervention of the shepherd. You die.
I'm gonna have to investigate that one further. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant analogy. I'm saving that one. Yeah.
You feeling well in yourself?
Yeah.
You said you've been losing some weight and
Just another kilo. So I'm going proper at the protein now, like so just eating loads of burgers and fish and kind of chucking some peas in there, and but really kind of. So I've had some because normally I won't eat all day and then just eat dinner kind of thing.
yeah.
So I stewed down. I can get cheap pollock, like a frozen.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest fish that I can get. So I got a kilo bag of that the other day, and I still had like half a packet of frozen mince and a little bit of frozen peas. So I chucked them all in the slow cooker last night. Didn't have to slow cook it for that long. So that was ready this morning. It didn't cook all night because it's only fish,
Yeah.
it's not stewing stuff or anything. So I had a bowl of that for my breakfast and a bowl of that for my lunch. And yeah, tonight it'll be either a bowl of that or uh, burgers, and I just get a little tub of like ready-made up coleslaw or something, and I've got some gherkins in a jar, so I'll have some of those for my veggies and like 4 burgers. Really kind of because this is the next 3-4 weeks or so is going to be really physical. I'm going to have winter's wood to chop basically when it arrives. Yeah, when it in a couple of weeks' time.
You could do what Stevie, one of his latest toys, was a little mini handsaw, not handsaw, chainsaw.
I haven't got the little chainsaw, but I've got like a glorified kitchen. It's like a bread, like a
Yeah,
bread knife. Well, it's like that, but it's a tool, so it's a proper
yeah,
battery on it. But the blade's only that long, and it doesn't matter if you hit a nail or anything because it's a solid
yeah.
blade. It's just a reciprocating saw. But yeah, that was a brilliant buy. I've used it loads because it can take some abuse as well. You
Yeah.
don't have to be too. So the chainsaw I only need to use now and again now, and the electric plug-in electric like log saw. But, it's a purpose-built thing.
Yeah.
So I can just chuck the meter length. So it's maybe a third of the time it took me to chainsaw the stuff up. And
Yeah.
then for this one, it's got to be quite small as well. And then obviously, so that's like a doddle with this. Because it would take with the chainsaw, because it's only a battery
Yeah.
chainsaw, it kind of take like
Yeah.
bit longer, maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds per cut. So when
Yeah.
so I was trying to work out the minimum number of cuts I need to make on this to get the length that I want. Well,
Yeah.
with the log saw, it's kind of like this.
Zoot, zoot.
So I just I can cut whatever lengths I want, as many bits out of
Yeah.
the wood. And when they're smaller like that, the logs are only that big, they're dead easy to split as well.
Yeah.
The little thing, I can make little logs up dead easy. So that'll be that's a game changer for this winter.
So
Is
where do you get your wood from? Off your own land or from
got a little bit of mine, a little bit of oak. We are going to cut some more oak this winter, but it's from Laurent's brother. Still does it. He really does it mainly for his extended family, but he does do it, for kind of neighbours and friends and things as a thing. But it's the same kind of for everybody. The people that there's not much money in it. It's really hard graft, you know. And the old boys are slowly either
dying out.
dying off, or you've got to be in good, you know, or they're getting problems associated with, you know, physical work.
Yeah.
And not able to do things anymore, or retiring, and that there aren't the young ones coming up to replace it. 'Cause it's hard work for not really not much money. So yeah, it's a struggle, and it's not the kind of thing. I have got plans to grow fast growing stuff. It's just which, and what I've found is actually a very good wood for burning is go on, not laurel. What's the other one everyone has, and you put the herb in the Italian food and that? Bay.
Bay. Oh.
Yeah, and they grow like stink here, and they're a bit of a pain because they're bloody hard work keeping on top of and stuff. So it's like, and a neighbour who went to, well, in the next village, a guy had because here they grow enormous. They're like massive. I've got one to take down. I need to take it down. And if I cut it off and leave the stumping like that, it'll grow into a more manageable tree still. But there's I've never seen like that's kind of, well, what's that tree? Bloody hell, that's a bay tree. I didn't know they could grow that big. So it's like it's fast growing wood, and I've cut some kind of that, you know, when I've cut it off, and I've saved the thickest stuff, and I've just seasoned it and things, and it's burnt really well. But this guy had cleared some really old ones with trunks like that, and I noticed he'd cut them up, and he had wood, like an old wood pile of bay. So I said, have you burned any like during the winter? And he said, yeah, it was really good, like as your main kind of logs.
Yeah.
Was it okay? He said, not only was it okay burning, we swept his chimney, so we know that it wasn't too sappy or, you know.
Yeah.
He said it actually seasons really quickly. So, you know, a year is more than enough for it. So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking of planting up a load of bay, because I can probably do that for free. Just get them started from cuttings in pots or something, and then just plant them up. Because the other one's acacia, which is a good burning wood. That's I thought was very fast growing, but Lauren said no. Johnny's tried that, and it's not. It's not all that fast growing. You know, it needs about a good 10 years before it gets to the stage that you can start harvesting. Once it gets to that, you can harvest it like once every couple of years.
Yeah.
Thin stuff like this. Because I've been thinking, yeah. So
what about the leaves? Is there a market for them? Because I mean, they're not cheap in the supermarkets, are they? Baileys. I mean,
because everybody's got bay trees, you know. So they would have to be shipped somewhere that you don't get. You can't get them. But I mean, that is, I could do the mail order from home because they're only tiny. Do you know? There's going to be no complication in sending stuff. So yeah, it's worth thinking about, especially if I could say something that was a bit nichey, like that they were completely organic or something, you know, or a particular variety of. But yeah, we give each other. I mean, we give each other branches, like, you know. Nobody wants it. Same with everything, isn't it? If you're surrounded by it, you can't give it away. So you get a glut of tomatoes. Nobody wants any tomatoes because everybody's growing their own tomatoes.
So everybody makes sauce in
Yeah,
jars, and
yeah,
then you've got your year's supply, haven't you, for all your pizzas and your stews and everything else.
yeah. Which is the time thing, you know.
Yeah,
Isabel does it, so Laurent's sister does all that for their extended family, and it's a lot of time and effort, and
yeah,
she, jars everything. But that's what it still is their kind of staple. Their thing is French green beans, the
yeah.
uh, eggs from the chickens, tomatoes. They always plant. What's the other thing they always do? But yeah, she'll do all the bottling and stuff, and a load of sweet stuff, and that's kind of that they do go shopping, but it's not for there's not much in it. There's you know things like tea and stuff that you can't grow, but it's all of that. So I've learned in 6 years to be start a lot more small scale. I always did myself in trying to do it too big, too fast. So like I have a big vegetable plot, and now I've just got a little planter that I now can do. And in the vegetable plot is potatoes, and that's it. That was it for this year. Till because I couldn't grow anything for it. All things didn't grow really well, and it's my dad said it might have a pan, the soil where it's been when things are ploughed over and over. Because I didn't realise, I thought when a field was ploughed, it was quite deep, but it's not. It's only about that
No.
deep, and because of the
Yeah.
machinery going over, you get this. It underneath is rock hard, and all that's being kind of done is this. So, and I did all the no dig method and all that.
Well, one of the things my dad used to have an allotment,
Yeah,
and I mean, because I used to have to follow the horse and cart when the either coal merchant or the off license was getting its barrels or whatever. They
yeah,
were big dray horses and whatever. I mean, you could get a whole bucket full if they crammed, which they often did. Um, but so he would use that fertilizer, but he also used to use soot.
yeah.
He did that in. Um,
Right.
I don't know why. I mean, it's carbon, isn't it? Of course, the soil looked lovely and deep and rich, you know. I mean, you've got access to that, haven't you, for free with your
Yes,
chimney sweeping?
and I looked into it because it's a sort. Um, and what I found online was it's good for a soil improver, and it was used mainly for the albedo effect. So if
What's an albedo effect?
literally just turning the colour darker, so it was really put onto in our kind of climate in the UK, it warmed the soil up quicker, earlier, if to have a layer
Oh, right, yeah,
over the top, that that bit will start getting warmer than.
quicker than a lighter brand, yeah.
So that's the benefit. The nutritional benefit of it isn't. It's not harmful, but it's not nutritional. The mineral benefit of it is not nothing like wood ash. Wood ash is brilliant, and so is the unburnt. I call it biochar, but the charcoal lumps that you get where
Yes,
it's not. That is fantastic, but the actual soot, which is kind of creosote, is won't do the soil any harm, and it's good for breaking up clay, so for the
Yeah,
texture stuff like sand is and things. But yeah, apparently from what I'll go back and revisit this, but it's more about the heating the, it's for the effect of the colour.
yeah. I mean, my gardening expertise is that which I ignore. If it can survive on its own, it does well.
Oh yeah, you
I
know,
mean,
if
I,
you get those kind of veggies, it's brilliant.
I mean, my dad, he could, I mean, his last little, because he gave up his allotment when he got older, you know. And the one that he had with his masonette was not pocket size, but it was only a few feet by a few feet, you know, small
Yeah,
garden. And I mean, I got like, I don't know, 100 foot or something down the back of Beach Hill, you know, the garden. It was a big,
yeah,
long garden. And he could get more out of that little pocket size
yeah,
thing. He'd have runner beans and knobby greens and cabbage. And you think, and of course, he would think he wouldn't plant the same thing in the same hole because one would take this out of the soil and one would take, you know, he knew all that, you know, just by doing it. But me, I kill more things trying to look after them than than the ones that survive. You know, I mean, we've got a coffee machine, one of them DeLonghi, whatever they're called. You put your little capsule in, and
yeah,
because now we're up here, we don't go. We used to go to the cafe
yeah,
for a morning coffee before Steve went to work. And when we came up here, of course, that doesn't happen because if you have to go down into the town and then come back up, and it would take up too much time and elongate Steve's day, you know.
yeah,
And so we got that, and I have a cappuccino. He makes me a cappuccino first thing, and then we do the Wordle and listening to BBC Two. This is Steve's routine in the morning. And as I say, the little capsules, before I put them in the plastic waste, it's made the drink, and then there's like a residue of liquor inside the capsule, and where the machine pierces it, you've got like a little hole, and if you put your thumb on the back end of where it comes out and press where the little hole is, it'll squirt out any liquid that's in there. And I found out that if I gave a little tiny bit of this juice, because it's got milk in and various coffee and whatever, the dregs of whatever you had to drink. Stevie has a coffee con leche, and I have, as I say, the cappuccino. I've got, my friend bought me a Christmas cacti, and I thought, oh, God, that's another thing I'm going to kill. Because the few bits I brought up from the balcony that has survived for like 12 years on the balcony in Villa, half of them looked like they were going to die when they went out on the outside here.
yeah,
And anyway, there was one bit that it was all gone like wilted, and I think what had happened is it broken off, and Sheila poked a hole in it and in the soil and stuck it back in,
yeah,
and it looked like, you know, more dead, you know. And so when I got all this liquor, and I thought, oh, I was going to chuck it down the sink, and I looked as I walked past. I thought, you look like you need a bit of water, so I just poured a little bit of this on the main bit, and then I poured a little bit on these dead things that all carked it, and then I did that once I'd started a new tradition. I pour a little bit in every morning, and then all of a sudden this thing, because the other was already beginning to look like, oh God, you've not brought me to one of these houses, I'm going to die. Plants, and it perked up a little bit. I thought, oh, well, that's good. And then all of a sudden, it started putting out little tiny new bits. And I thought, oh. And then I looked at these like dead leaf bits on the thing, and they hadn't perked up, but they didn't look as dead. And then I touched one, it fell off the bit it was attached to, and I thought, oh, I've just finished you off, haven't I? And then I noticed there were like 3 or 4 little white bits, and I thought, oh, you look like roots to me. So I poked my finger in, I stuck it in, and then I gave it its own little water supply. The next day, I poked the other 2, and yeah, sure enough, there was one, so I poked them in, and now I've got 3 new ones. They've all stood up now, and they haven't grown new bits yet on the top. The 3 dead, which I thought were dead. But the other one, it's got new bits on its new bits, so and so I thought, well, I've got an Acer tree that somebody bought me in 2004, I think it was. And in its pot, it's in a big pot, is this Christmas cacti. And it never comes out at Christmas, it comes out at various times, whenever it decides to. And you get this lovely show of beautiful pink flowers, as I say, since we moved here, bits were falling off and everything, and it was all looking like, you shouldn't have brought us, you should have left us by the bins and somebody could have rescued us, And I thought, oh, so I gave them a little drink, and then I run downstairs with the little container that I've squirted it all in, and I've been giving aid to that. And then there was a couple of others that were like on the do or die phase, and I gave them a bit, and they've all perked up, and I thought, and now it's looking quite robust. And so every morning after I've had my coffee and Steve's gone to work, I express the liquor, and I add a little bit more water to it so it can go to more plants. So I don't know what's in it that's doing it, or it might just be that I'm being nice to it and saying hello and you're doing all right. I don't care. They're picking up, and yeah, I'll take you some pictures afterwards and send you a little thriving little Christmas cacti. Poor little sod's going to go outside at some point, and so I'm not looking forward to that, because I might kill it in its transplantation, and in my desire to give it, be free. I've got all the gravel and some special stuff that it says it's got all the drainage, says it doesn't, because any sort of cacti, it's the root rot that kills them if there's nowhere for the water to get there, so it stands in water. So I'm waiting for Steve to give me a hand, because the bag that the gravel's in, it's like, I don't know, I can't lift it up off the floor. So I need Steve to give me a hand with it and everything. I mean, the front thing downstairs looks like a bomb at the moment, because I had 2 sun recliner chairs that have sat on the patio for 12 years, and it's covered in all sorts of stuff. I've been trying to clean them up, And Steve said, they don't work anymore. I said, I think they do. And he was saying, well, chuck them. And I said, no, because he says chuck them, and that's fine. But it's waiting for something to come that I can use in the meantime. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll say, well, we'll get some new ones. And then, I mean, the 2 days he's got off just fly by. And half the time, and you know, give the lad his due. He takes me out and shopping for his food as well as my own. But you know what I mean. He tries to do his best to keep me happy and content, sort of thing. But all he wants to do really is get his feet up, and because I mean it's 10-hour days. You know, and then you come home, you've got enough time to go and come home, have something to eat, upstairs, have a shower, because he gets nippy at work, and whatever, and then come down and then fall asleep in the chair. Well, he'll be watching something, but more times than not, I think. But let's go on there. You know, it's falling asleep. And to go, I could be watching some other rubbish rather than this rubbish. But
it's not always easy, and it's always a matter of money. It's a matter of time.
Yeah,
you know,
like the time and I mean,
you've got to actually be there to.
Yeah, and you got it's the desire, because I mean, Steve and I are very alike in many ways, and it wasn't until this move, you know, because I can give all sorts of excuses, but the place was not. I mean, Sheila's. I mean, she's a neat. She's got ADHD, and I don't know what she's got. But everywhere it's like polished to the end, you know, and clean and all the rest. Mine used to look like a bomb, you know. I've got me like me 29 are open. It's because I'm following something, and then I'll say, oh, hang on a minute, and I'll go on to put something else related to it and everything, and then I'll come back to that. And then I'll take a bit out of that and put it down on it, and then I'll go back to and then it'll say, it's like with the blooming bummerlands, and it'll say, oh, you wonder why they call it bummerland? What's the origin of that? You know, and before you know it, you've gone down another hole, and so you've got another thing. Well, it's like that, you know. I've got we had a thing. Because I found it by the bin. It was on our in the flat. It was on the side of the kitchen cabinets, and it had whatever I'd stuck on it. And when I went past, it was by the bin along with a load of my plates and everything, because we didn't take everything with us, because we were already trying to. What do you call it? Trim down, not
downsize.
You know, we've got a load of. How many pans do you actually need? You know, how many of those do you actually need? You know, and I mean, you know, like 20 mugs and 25 blooming glasses. Well, we only ever used 3 or 4, you know. Well, when you have somebody around, and well, they'll drink out of mugs, you know. Because that's the reality, you know. The 9 times out of 10, you need very little, and if you haven't got enough, then you'll find something else that you can utilize. You know what I mean. Anyway, I got that, and it's now got. My books, because you're trying to get hold of a bookcase these days, it's like nobody has books, so don't make bookcase, you know, like you go to JYSK or whatever it is, or one of the others. I mean, if you do get them, they're all made out of crap stuff.
Yeah.
They're not very solid or anything. They're not fit for purpose, really. You know, I mean, this is dead solid. And as I say, I've got my books on it at the moment, and it's just about to put most of the books. They're virtually all different Bibles. I've got the Amplified, the Message, the this, the that, the other. You know, all the different Bibles, and some the sermons of what's his face, Charles Wesley, and that sort of stuff. You know, sort of Living Bible and devotional classics, and you know all that them things.
Yeah, that's my motivating factor to get that wall finished, which is the last messy. Hopefully, it's the last messy, dusty thing. The only thing really, because I keep saying no, because this room's really empty, because I haven't got a rug in here and stuff on purpose. I know it's going to get dusty, and I need to be able to check things over. But really, all I want to put in here is bookshelves. You know, I want to get my books back out of the boxes and put my books back up.
I mean, Sal's got like floor to ceiling bookcase.
I'm building my
own, and she's got like a little nook, and she's got like a chair that's almost like a mini settee.
Yeah,
and she can kind of she's got like wraps and things that she can chuck round, and of course the cat will sit on her, and it's got the light over it, so it's like a little reading nook in the window, you know, and I mean she and like I said, she wants to get through about 50 odd books a year.
Yeah.
I mean she reads all sorts, you know.
Yeah.
And it's but as I say, I digress, because what I was trying to say, the place had got into a bit of a state. How much of a state you don't realise until you're trying to pack stuff up, and you're trying to leave it in a state that you don't want the person who comes in to see the state you got to get into. And when we came here, I thought and I found a state that I'd left my cooker in, because that was the only, because we sold a lot of the stuff when we moved, because we couldn't take it with us because the flat was furnished, and they said no, you can't have it unfurnished, you know, you've got to rent it as is, you know, with their furniture and everything. So we got a chat round, and of course they didn't want my cooker in the state it was in, and it was like grease stuff and all sorts of that, and it's like, so it didn't just my age, it was it had got into a state, but it was a state I was totally oblivious to. You know what I mean? It was like some things don't bother me, but would drive Mark absolutely round with a twist, and vice versa. You know, some things that drive Mark round the twist would be, all right. You know, like 25. How can you have that many? Don't you touch my? I'm not allowed to go onto this computer. In case I touch something, you know, and contaminated it with pressing the wrong button. I mean, because they're always full of, you can't break it, you know, it's not like, and then it's like, how did you manage to do that? You know, now I'm going to have to reinstall Windows and start from scratch again because of, and how can you, you know, delete? I don't know, it just said, and I pressed that button and I did this, because half the time I didn't know what the blooming thing's asking me, you know. What's your so-and-so number and this and that, and you put something in that you think, I think this could be it, you know, and then it goes error, and they go, and you see stuff falling down, and you think, well, no, and then I was going to get Steve or whatever. But anyway, to cut this long rambling mess, I determined when I came here that wasn't going to happen again. You know, whatever else happened, I was going to bottom this place so that at some point, when it's all gone into its things, then all it needs to be done is maintained.
Yeah.
Because I found the areas that I have done now take no looking after.
Yeah.
And I've got a brand new cooker, and so every time I use it, top and bottom,
Yeah.
it's cleaned down and everything else, and it takes a few minutes at the most.
Yeah.
You know, everything is not left in the oven, you know, because I would have all my trays and bits and pieces in the oven itself, which meant that the oven didn't work at its best because it was full of, you know, your roasting tins and your this tins and that tins. Now they're all out. The oven is empty when it's not in use, and whatever goes in is cleaned every time. So it just takes a damp cloth or whatever. And it's pretty much the same with, you know, like the glass screen on the shower upstairs. If you spray it with vinegar and give it a good wipe down, then the calcification doesn't go on the glass. And you know what I mean?
I used to get a squidgy.
Yes.
Hanging in the, put a little suction thing, leave it hanging, squidgy off the water, so it wasn't sitting on the thing to make the large scale to but
and that's the thing.
I need to Maggie, because
is it that time already?
Well, it's 10 to 4 for me, and my thing is at 5, but I need to, there's a couple of things I need to do then. So I would like to chat more frequently.
Yes, so would I.
Because it's kind of it's easier to keep up with each other's lives when it doesn't have to be for so long, but more. I would like, if you that. So I'll do the same with this recording. I'll put it so it is up on thing, but it's only between me and you. It's not see it, and I'll send you the link. I can do that now after I've had a pee. That's the other thing that I'm a bit urgent about, is I need to go and have a pee. And
I'll take you some pictures. Me plant.
Yeah, so practice. What was the first one? You said I'll send you a photo. What was the first thing? You might have to listen to it back and then send me a photo. Oh, Samson.
Oh yes, Samson.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then.
Yeah.
They'll come on WhatsApp, whatever.
Yeah. All right then, Maggie.
See you'll switch off, won't you?
Yeah, I'll switch off.
I can't see where it says switch off.
Yeah. So enjoy your the rest of your afternoon and evening. Because it's just about, that's another thing. It's going to
get dark, yes.
So fire's in time and everything and stuff. Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
Yeah. Much love.
Love you lots.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye.